What's up? Welcome to the channel. If you're looking at it, I'm probably not gonna be that good at this starting off. People say just get started, so here's day one. Just kind of want to introduce myself and tell you guys what this channel will probably be surrounding. First things first, my name is Daryl. I was born and raised St. Louis, Missouri, is where we are now. Really into cars. Dad was GM MasterTech, so spent a lot of time around cars from my youth. Grew up kind of pursuing wanting to modify cars and things like that, probably sparked by Fast and the Furious. But I was blessed enough to get some experience with both kind of drag racing, street racing, things like that, making friendships, and getting into on-track stuff, primarily surrounding drifting. Made some really good friends going around traveling, doing drifting, learning a lot about cars. That kind of took me on a journey towards the West Coast. I spent a lot of time, like I said, with drifting with a friend of mine, but when he stopped campaigning and doing Pro-Am, I decided to kind of toss a Hail Mary and see what it would be like to just kind of move to a different space. So I got up and moved to Las Vegas. I spent about 5 years there where I met my wife, and have since moved back. But said all that to say, during my experience in Las Vegas, I got to see drifting, obviously, stayed kind of involved within the motorsports community, but I also got a great opportunity to become a driving coach. So I spent a few years learning basically vehicular dynamics as it was school. Spent a lot of time on track, both passenger as a coach, and spent a lot of time driving as well. Also got some off-road experience at the same facility, so got to learn a lot about driving dynamics and things like that. And since, like I said, I've moved back to Missouri, and since my move back to Missouri, I acquired the vehicle that my friend campaigned for Pro-Am. So that's honestly what kind of sparked me doing the channel and making videos or making content, I guess. Yes, I know I say a lot as well, but it will be this vehicle here. So we campaigned this vehicle. He got the vehicle in, I want to say 2010, 2012. I don't even honestly remember, a long time ago. It was a 325i with an inline 6 M52, no, it was an M50 with M52 cams, or S52 cams, full exhaust. It was a really nice put together car. The guy used it for, I think, HPDE, and I think the guy was trying to make the transition into drifting and then kind of chose to go a different route. So it was a good platform to start with. That's what we picked up, or he picked up. It was in Arizona. They drove the car back. Very, very nice car. And I do remember basically saying that I wouldn't help him make a bunch of power with the car or do any project work with him if he didn't learn how to drive the car first. Because at the time I and some other friends had some experience in drifting. So long story short, he gets the car, he starts drifting it, and then he gets hooked. So we spent a lot of time with his vehicle, pursuing his drifting career. So driving Pro-Am events, driving other events that were competitive, some that were just show events, but basically traveling and running this vehicle on track. And the vehicle's made it through quite a few iterations. Like I said, it started with the inline 6. Once the inline 6 came out, we considered doing a turbo inline 6, but then we wanted something more reliable, so he ended up doing an LS swap. He was one of the first few in this area to do an LS swap. So first motor was an LS6 out of the C5Z. great motor. Went into the car and made decent power, and he ran the car like that for a couple of years actually, and I think he backed it up with like a 50 shot of nitrous. It's a very good car. Car never really got hot, super reliable. Didn't really give us any problems, but spent some time further with the vehicle after some years. And then moving forward, we kind of got into building more of a like actual competitive vehicle. So working through iterations, the car ended up supercharged. The initial motor we got for the car to be supercharged came out of another Corvette, but we didn't want to use that motor immediately, so we used essentially a mock-up motor. So we used a 5.3 that we put into the car to shake everything down, make sure that the tuning was going to be correct, because the car went to standalone tuning. Basically, we wanted to make sure the car was running well before putting an expensive motor in it. So we went to LS Fest with the car, tuned it at LS Fest. It was very successful with the power delivery and output, but unfortunately we did melt the motor down at LS Fest because of a mixture of back-to-back runs. Obviously, as you get higher and higher in competition, you run more frequently, and him doing a standing burnout in the car towards the end of the event, and we kind of melted that motor down. So then the following iteration was with the car with a motor that had the supercharger originally on it, which was, I believe, an LS2. So the car made good power. We got some good parts on it, suspension wise, knuckles. Like, the car was very, very well put together. And over time, we spent a lot of time with it. That whole backstory is to say that this is now the car that I have acquired. So this channel will be primarily probably aimed towards this vehicle for now and the reassembly of the vehicle. So the way I acquired the vehicle is with pretty much all of the parts to put it back together. The car was like pulled apart and sitting in a shop for quite some time. One of the reasons I acquired the vehicle is because it was sitting in a shop, and he just doesn't have time to, rebuild a car by himself. He's no longer pursuing the sport as a career or hobby, and he's got like other things in his life. So the car does have a lot of history with us and a bond with us. So like, he didn't want to just like give it away to some stranger or sell it super cheap or he thinks that the car deserves life, honestly. I do as well. So came to an agreement with the vehicle, and so now this channel is going to be essentially about this vehicle. At first, we'll probably mix in other content. There'll probably be other content that I think is worthwhile, but as for right now, my motivator to do videos or sit here in front of a camera and babble is going to be the reassembly and, I guess, evolution of this car. I do have some goals with the car. Like I said, have a lot of the parts here. There's a few things about the recipe that are going to change with it. I think I will probably want to talk about that in another video. This is just an intro video. And if you've lasted this long through the video, thank you. If you want to see the progress on the car, another thing I'm not good at asking for likes or subscriptions or any of that. If you like what you see or you want to see more of this content, just continue to look forward. Sorry, my wife is calling. Sorry. Okay. If you like the content you see, sorry. Do me a favor, like it, share it, subscribe. The car is, like I said, the goal is to bring this vehicle back to its glory. Do have some goals for it. Most of the parts are there. Gonna do a little bit of work on it today. Probably not gonna record that. I'm just in a really tight space as far as room, so I kind of just want to like get this knocked out just so I can start getting the car back on the ground. I've already assembled the front end for the most part. I do need to order some hardware. So the front end is not quite ready to put on the ground, but as soon as the hardware comes in, it's the hardware to put the coil over to the knuckle. As soon as I get that hardware in, then I can put the front of the car down. And then when it comes to the rear, I need to put the rear control arms in, and one of the tabs for the rear control arm, the inner tab, is bent. So I have a tool to open that up and get it unbent, and then put the eye keys in and reintroduce rear control arms to the car so then I can put the rear on the ground. And then from there, I think being able to roll the car out or move it around will make it a little easier to like do content. All I have to shoot content right now realistically is my phone. I can probably try to mix in some GoPro stuff, but it's going to get complicated. So my goal is, in order to maintain consistency, use the easiest thing possible, which is my phone. I just looked it up on uploading videos to YouTube from my phone, so that's going to make that a little easier because it works more like Instagram. And if you guys want to see this happen, work with me. And like I said, just like it. I'm going to check out now and give my wife a call back, and also try to get this knocked out before I lose daylight. So like I said at the beginning, welcome to the channel, and I hope to see you guys here for more episodes. Peace.